Go ahead and bring up the slides, Jeff. Tech Council members, we couldn't be any happier with the presentation today. We had IAFC, who, let me see if I get this title correct, is the Director of Strategic Partnerships, Economic and Trade Mission at the Embassy of Israel. She reached out to the Tech Council and said, hey, there's a lot of great innovation in Israel. We'd like to share this information on an international platform. So of course, the Tech Council, Jeff Doolin, set it up, did a good job, and we're going to present some of that today. There's some really interesting guests with us. As I was doing a little research on one of them, and Ayal, I'm going to speak about you real quick. It came up in conversation that he had worked on the Iron Dome, which of course all of us know is the missile, we would call it a missile defense system in Israel. But as I was looking at that, there was a quote that was attributed to Ayal, and it said, there is no system like this anywhere in the world in terms of capability, speed, and accuracy. We felt like a startup. And so when I brought this quote up to Ayal, he told me that they'd implemented the system in a very short time frame, within a year, from the concept to actually doing the test firing. And I mentioned, well, you don't work for the same government agency that I do, because bureaucracy is steeped in the California, our National Fire Service, International Fire Service. But I think one of the ways that we can lessen how long it takes us to adapt technology is to really pay attention to what's going on around us in the different parts of the world, and then look at that applicability of technology and how can we bring it to us, down to our firefighters, to our government, so that we can use it. So this is the IAFC Technology Council monthly webinar series. I'm Dan Muncie. I'm the current Technology Council chairperson. Go to the next slide, please. So who we are, well, we all know the IAFC is all hazard, all risk response leaders across not only our nation, but across the world. We represent the leadership of fire and emergency responders. Our members are world-leading experts in firefighting, EMS, terrorism response, hazmat, natural disasters, search and rescue, wildland fire, mitigation response, and public safety. And I think we do a few more things than that even. Next slide. So the Tech Council serves as a knowledge center for the technology developments that affect the fire service. The council provides a forum for information and knowledge exchange among the different stakeholders, including fire chiefs, public safety organizations, and vendors. Our vision is to advance the fire, rescue, EMS services, and allied agencies to be on the leading edge of tech adoption. There's a link in this slide. You can click on that. It'll take you to our IAFC page, or you can Google IAFC and Tech Council, and our webpage will start up in your browser. From there, if you'd like to join our Tech Council, there is a link that you can join. Next slide. We've been hosting monthly seminars now for well over a year, bringing this exciting technology to you. As we're going through, please make sure your microphones are on mute. If you do have a question, please go ahead and hold those to the end of the presentation. The moderator will ask for questions. It would be best if you put those questions into the chat box, and that'll allow us to group the questions together, so we're making sure that we're moving through this as fast as we can. At this time, I would like to turn over the presentation today to our presenter, IAFC. As I mentioned, the Director of Strategic Partnerships for the Office of Economic and Trade, Embassy of Israel. Aisha.
Hi, thank you, Dan, for that amazing introduction. I'm really glad to be here, and thank you for having me. I'll go ahead and introduce the first company right now, which is CopterPIX PRO. Who will be presenting for CopterPIX PRO is Igal Yamoroliski, which is VP of Sales. CopterPIX PRO specializes in designing, developing, and manufacturing unmanned aerial vehicle solutions, aka drones. I'll go ahead and let him take it away. Igal? EL. Apologies. I'm sorry for that. Let's go ahead and try and get our next presenter. Our next presenter, while he's figuring everything out. And we'll go ahead and go straight down to EdgyBees. EdgyBees is, they offer a solution designed to bring fully visible and understanding to any dynamic scene by creating a collaborative virtual solutions of complex environments. This is an augmented real-time intelligence fuses computer vision. I'll go ahead and let them take it away.
Okay, that would be my cue. Hi, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. So my name is Menashe Haskin. I'm co-founder and the CXO at EdgyBees. And thank you, Aisha, for this introduction. It was a bit of a mouthful, but I hope I will bring clarity to it within a couple of visuals. So, and this is going to be the most formal slide of my presentation. EdgyBees delivers geospatial context, correct navigation, and accurate positioning to video and satellite imagery in real time. We'll talk today mostly about search and rescue, but a brief background to EdgyBees. We started EdgyBees as a gaming company. We developed the first ever augmented reality game for drone pilots. That was in 2017, but soon after we released the game, the hurricanes, you may recall, hit Houston and then Florida. And the people over there knew about our technology. They contacted us and said, well, we're using drones and to look at the ground and we lose orientation. Could you use your technology to help us make better use of this video? And we started working with them, and we realized, and more as we worked with the Department of Defense, that although over $1 trillion is spent every year on collecting aerial imagery, most of it is being actively ignored because in real time, you miss the context. You don't have time to fuse all the information in your mind. So we set up to bridge this gap and make all this visual intelligence useful and actionable in real time. So if you consider this video feed, can you see my video feed, by the way? Yes, okay. I'll play it again. So if you see this video feed, let's say I'm a drone pilot or just a manned aircraft pilot flying over this flooded area. Okay, I understand more or less what's going on, but where am I? What am I looking at? Where do I need to direct my forces to? It's very unclear from this video. But if we now observe this video, it's the same video, but it's completely different. Now I understand exactly where I am, what I'm looking at. Where did I get the distress signals from? Where do I need to send my teams to? So this, in a nutshell, is what EdgyBees does. We understand, we take incoming video and still imagery, we geo-register it, geolocate it to a very high degree of accuracy, and then we could superimpose contextual information over it for a superb situational awareness. If you consider this fire scene, it's exactly the same. And by the way, we, as I said, we started during the flooding in 2017. We really improved the system and brought it to where it resembles what it is today at the California fires following that year. So again, consider this fire scene, but now with an overlay, I understand exactly where I need to drop my water or where I need, what areas I need to avoid, and so on and so forth. Another visual, and this is something that it's very important to understand. On the left-hand side, you see video coming down from an aircraft with a street map that we put on top of it just to demonstrate how inaccurate information coming down from an airborne system is. So you can see that the streets are sort of in the right place as the scene, but I wouldn't want to trust the location of a specific pixel if I translate it to 3D location and I want to do something over there. On the right-hand side, you have the same video with the same street map, but after we geo-registered it using EdgyBees technology. As you can see, this is reliable. This, I can translate each pixel to its actual location, and I can act on it being confident that my situational awareness, that my positioning that I'm acting upon is correct. If I'm sending a team to a specific location, I know this location is correct. Okay, I'll skip over this in the interest of time, but this shows this exact same thing using thermal videos, showing that we can also operate at night and not only during the day. Applications, as I said, we started with public safety. We diverged into defense applications that are extremely straightforward. Critical infrastructure maintenance and observation, and whatever other application that you could think of that involves real-time video and imagery and need for accurate locations, you'll probably find us there. These are a couple of additional examples. Critical infrastructure monitoring, safe city, improved orientation. Yeah, and if there are any questions.
Doesn't appear to be any questions at this time, sir, but as more comes up, I'll make sure I reach out to you in chat, or we'll ask you to come back on the screen.
Chief Muncie, I've got a couple quick, if I may.
Please do.
Thank you. Object recognition capability, tactical awareness kit, or other gaming engine API capabilities, and what sort of heads-up displays might we be able to view on? And thank you very much for the presentation.
Thank you for the question. So starting from last, the video with all the superimposed information is available on any web interface. So it's a web interface. It's available on any web browser. It's very friendly to disseminate over the web, over technical networks. By the way, I didn't mention that, but the system can be deployed to the cloud, can also be installed on-prem. Everything is Dockerized containers, so it's very easy to port it from one area to the next. With regards to tech, and I think this actually goes hand in hand with my answer to the first question. Everything's web accessible. We use the standard formats and protocols, so it's very easy, friendly to use. And the first question was about object detection. Yes. So we have very simple standard interfaces that allow us to integrate with any object detection suite you may have. So we're not limiting you to a specific object detection capabilities. Whatever object detection you may already have, we have the simple RESTful API that allows us to ingest this information and put it directly over the video, as well as any tactical maps, KML files, KMZ, GRGs, and so on and so forth that you want to project over the video. All this is supported right out of the gate.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Let's go ahead and go to the next presentation.
Absolutely. So thank you so much, Manashe. By the way, that was Manashe Hutskin. He's the co-founder and CXO of EdgyBees. Sorry about giving the introduction before because of the technical difficulties. So we'll go ahead and bring Igal back from the VP of Sales for CopterPIX. Again, this is unmanned aerial drone solution. Take it away. We can't hear you. Yeah, we still can't hear you. I'm going to give you a few more seconds. If not, I'm going to give it up to Octopus Systems, and I'll let you have a chance to figure out your technical difficulties. Okay, so we'll let you, since you're having some audio difficulties, please unshare your screen, and we'll give you some more time to sort that out, and we'll go to Octopus Systems, okay?
Okay. Can everyone hear me, Danny?
Yes, so I'll go ahead and just queue up. So this is Danny, the VP of International Sales and Marketing for Octopus Systems. Octopus Systems is a fusion command and control platform that integrates physical security, cybersecurity, IoT, and big data technology to develop, design, and deliver a revolutionary fusion platform. Go ahead, Danny, take it away.
Thank you so much. Nice to meet everyone. So we are Octopus. We're a company existing about 9 years, invested $11 million at the time. We offer, as said, a integrated emergency response and safe city data fusion platform. We are working today with high organizations, high-level security and public safety organizations around the world, have very strict ISO and information security standards, GDPR compliant, and a lot of other accolades that you can see here. This platform I'm presenting to you is installed today around the world in more than 28 countries, 400 installations, and very high-level deployments. Oh, so what is the challenge that we're trying to address here? So as your emergency response organizations are going through digitalization process, you have now more and more digital systems, IP technology, infrastructure, need of communications, multiple channels of communications, but you still have a lot of a growing amount of public service and civilians, more urbanization, of course, and as we know, more extreme conditions of extreme weather, crime, forest and city fires, power outages and failures, and other sorts of extreme events that you need to deal with at the same time. So this creates kind of an inability to gain situational awareness, to have the common operational picture and understand what's happening in order to assess an emergency and respond to it in real time. So this is kind of where we come out as Octopus, as an integrated emergency response platform. We provide a solution either on cloud or on-prem that gives you really a full suite of tools and integrates and brings under one pane of glass all the different technologies, communications, infrastructure that you need to handle your operations and response under one system. We have actually more than 35 different modules So as an integrated response platform, we have incident management, SOP, of course, GIS management and managing different type of layers of geographical information and satellite information, weather satellites, whatever is needed. Digital twin, we can create digital twin of cities and buildings to have you better understand and access a fire event and understand how it's happening in a 3D, for example. We have an OSINT and social media management module to fill in or feed in events coming from social media, not just from calls or other types of incidents. And we manage all your ongoing operations from your manpower to your tasking to your dispatching, all under one platform with a mobile application as well. In the heart of this platform is an open architecture integration engine, either on the cloud or on-prem, as I said, which can seamlessly integrate in a two-way manner to many type of existing subsystems that you or other agencies or the city might have that allow you to have this common operational picture and manage and handle your situational awareness in one place. From example of video analytics and surveillance camera. Drones, as fellow companies here provide drone systems. Of course, all the fire panels and fire systems and detection sensors throughout the city, throughout the buildings. Thermal cameras, if you have thermal connective cameras we can connect them and have a SOC or command center remotely evaluate them, that can also be connected. Of course, Blue Force tracking, so all your fire officers, whether on ground or on vehicle, track them with different type of sensors, geopositioning, BLE, gyro sensors, whatever, indoor, outdoor positioning, vehicle status as well. Any type of other systems that's relevant, electro-optical systems, radars. We also do tactical and military grade integrations as well, perimeter security and so forth. Of course, also communications, which is an important factor. So this is a correlated engine, meaning that we can correlate between elements. For example, through this engine, you can build an automated scenario. So if an incoming alert from a fire detector comes in, we can, of course, run a scenario of opening an incident, presenting the SOPs, allowing you to evaluate and assess. And if so, you can run a scenario if it's a real event, dispatch staff, dispatch drone, open emergency doors in the building, play a public announcement, broadcast an intercom, broadcast an SMS, mass notify. So you can build these kind of sequence of scenarios, how you want them to play out according to your response procedures and protocols, and the system can run them automatically as a trigger, a result of input of an alarm, or as if you want to initiate it on your own. Today, we already integrate to more than 500 different subsystems in the market, and we also have an open API that our partners can develop their own integrations and feed events into the system if they want to. The rule engine is the tool that allows you to set up your business rules. So everything is really open architecture and friendly. This is a multi-tenancy hierarchical system. So we give access to all those sensors and the incident and all that information on 3 different levels, from the main command and control level to the regional command and control. It could be a vehicle, it could be a regional station, and all the way down to the field level, from tablets and from mobile rugged devices that can have access like a mini command and control in their pocket. You can see that all these levels have access to all different type of sensory, from drones to thermal to analytics to any type of access of data that you need. All levels have that access of information. As I said, incident and SOP for business continuity, emergency response. Another important aspect is the omni-channel communications. So if you want to handle an emergency response center, 911, for a fire, we can handle your call center. We allow to communicate with the public or with other agencies through all these channels of unified communication, SIP, VoIP, radio, email, SMS, PA, digital signature, satellite, radio. All those elements are already, we have experience in interfacing to them. And again, allowing two-way integration, whether broadcasting or communicating or receiving and answering calls and receiving incoming communications on the system. We also can handle the 911 call center. So any call can be registered on the system automatically with the caller details, location if possible. We have the mobile app that we give to the public in certain cases, or we also support ELS, emergency location services, provided by Google and Apple, which can bring in the location of the person in distress. And the system can automatically, using the CAD engine, dispatch closest available asset and responder as needed on foot, on vehicle, on motorcycle, and close this circle of response to dispatch automatically. The mobile app is a strong tool either for the public or for first responders. We allow a two-way video call, panic alarms, sending a report on an incident, sending messages, and so forth. And the same goes for the responders themselves. They can be connected, they can be dispatched, and they have access to all the information and their fellow staff on a mobile device or on a tablet. Like I said, social media, we can plug in all the social media, the OSINT, into the system. So not just sensors and people, but also social media. People on Waze and Google are reporting traffic accidents and so forth. That can come into the control center automatically and don't wait for someone to call you. You'll know before they call that a traffic accident has happened. Facebook, Twitter, police feeds, GeoRSS, and so forth. We have a lot of customers using this. And this is also tied with our mass notification, so you can mass notify the public or certain sectors according to their location about these incidents to warn them in advance. I don't want to overflow you with information. We have business intelligence dashboards and so forth. Again, this system is deployed worldwide. We have huge projects. We did Paraguay 911 for 12 million people, including 7 regions with 911 fire brigades and ambulance. Call taking and dispatch. We have Safe City Ukraine. It was before the war, and now it's used for crisis management and damage control. Huge projects integrating to all the city assets, people, security, 12,000 cameras, and we have a lot of use cases for this solution around the world. So I'll leave it at that, and if there's any questions and so forth, I will be more than happy to answer them.
Thank you, Danny. I'll ask our members to put any questions they may have in chat. There was a lot of information in this presentation. I could see where you can go on for a couple of hours.
Yes.
We'll ask one simple question. Is there any cities nationally in the United States that is using this technology that we may be able to research and understand how they're
growing? Yeah, we're growing our presence in the U.S. I mean, we have police of Miami in a certain location called Indian Creek Village. We have big private sectors. We have Chipotle managing security and open source intelligence and mass notifications for all their facilities and employees, 100,000 people. We have a lot of big customers. We have also some government in the US as well, some government agencies as well. So I can further off give you information if that's of interest.
Thank you very much. Yes, if any of the companies here would like to present more information to the Tech Council, please send it to Aisha, and then she'll format it and send it back to us for dissemination. Thank you for your time, sir. Aisha, next presentation. Actually, there is one more question, Charles, or excuse me, from Charles Werner. He's asking what is the cost and how much time does it take for full implementation? So I know that's broad questions there, but let's see how.
I can just say it's a modular and scalable system. You don't have to start for the big monster. You have to start and scale it up smallly, you know, and grow. So you can plug in and take the different modules that you need and plug in the integrations that you need, and then grow it and you know, and spread it out as needed. So it's a scalable business module. Implementing it again, it's also depending. It normally takes anything from small system 3-4 months to a larger can take 6-8 to 10 months. So that's about the time scale we have an experience.
Thank you, sir. Aisha.
Great. Thank you so much, Danny. We really appreciate it. So next up is Waveguard Technologies. Waveguard Technologies, I will give it up to Major General Uzi, who is the CEO. Waveguard delivers intelligent solutions focusing on mass geolocation detection, cellular activity collection, and big data analysis. Go ahead, Uzi, I'll give it to you.
Hi, great. This was a great introduction, and thank you for having me. Basically, you've provided something like 70 to 80% of the essence of the presentation. I would like to start with shortly presenting our field of expertise, Waveguard's field of expertise. Our field of expertise is, I would say, a profound knowledge, experience and know-how in extracting valuable information for the sake of using it in various scenarios. Some of them are Intel or HLS, Homeland Security related. They will not be presented in this event. They belong to another vertical. What I will present is the scenarios relating to emergency and I would say mass disaster and life-saving scenarios. We will have two scenarios, the first of which will be the 911 scenario, and the second of which a mass disaster. Now, when I go to the 911, I believe that all of us know there is a huge challenge in extracting in real time the whereabouts of the persons who called the 911. Now, the service is being provided by some cellular providers, and there are some other companies. I'm being very candid on that. But when this is being provided, or currently being provided by cellular providers, although a special toll is being collected whenever you get your cellular bill, usually you get it within an accuracy or precision level of the cell itself, or the tower cell itself. And that can have an angle of, I would say, between 60 to 90 degrees and time propagation, etc., etc. I don't have enough time to go into details, but we have traced at least 5 or 6 events within the US. Some of them took place in Tennessee, in Nashville, in Florida, in which very inaccurate location in cases of mass shooting, like a shooting spree or some health-related situations was provided, and people lost their lives. Now, our 911 solution is much more efficient, much more effective, and much more, I would say, accurate than the existing solutions. And this owes to the fact that we use the fact that this is my iPhone. I should really replace it probably next month when I'm in the US. This is a radio transmitter. So we extract log files from the mobile operator or from the mobile provider. We analyze them. And this makes our solution totally agnostic whether you have or you don't have an app. This is a thing which will be elaborated a little bit later on. It is totally agnostic to the type of the device, the type of operation system, the cellular generation, because whether this is a second generation, a fifth generation, whether this is an LG, Samsung, or an Apple product, this is a radio transmitter, and this is what, in a nutshell, makes our solution much more effective and efficient. I would like to elaborate a little bit about the app-related solution, because there are solutions without giving any specific names, because there are competitors or potential competitors, in which you should download an app, and whenever you call 911, you should, as the person being in a situation of a personal distress, you should do something on the app. Now, what I say, and I think this makes a lot of sense, or a lot of common sense, that whenever you are a person who is in a situation of a personal distress, whether this comes from a health-driven situation or you're being victimized, you're being a victim of some criminal activity, the last thing that you would be able to do is to operate the app if you have already downloaded the app. Our solution is very simple. All you have to do is what you would have done, or what you would do, call the 911, and when the system is being installed on-premise within the local 911, which usually in the US is being operated by the city or by the county, then the information is being automatically and very accurately dispatched to first responders, whether this is firefighters, police, ambulances, or whatever. This is, of course, centralized. This is nationwide. It provides a solution to, I would say, not a very small part of the population. For instance, elderly people, which sometimes do not have in possession even smartphones, or if they have, they are not capable of being digital and downloading a specific app or operating it in a situation of distress. So this is very simple, this is very robust, and this is very accurate. Now, regarding accuracy, I would like also to be very, very candid. The accuracy is dependent, not the finding of the location itself. The finding of the location itself, as I've said, all you have to do is call 911, and immediately the dispatcher would get the whereabouts. If this is a continuous event, say someone is being hijacked or something like that, of course you can trace, you can have a continuous event, and you can go backwards and see where the event started. This is good for the investigation part. But when someone I was speaking about the accuracy is dependent on, I would say, the density of the deployment of the mobile network. I would say that in urban areas, say fourth generation and above, fourth and fifth, this can reach, I would say, between 50, 60 to 80 meters, something like that. Multiply it by 2, you would get the distance in yards. In, I would say, more open areas where the density of the network is of course decreased, then you would get something like, I would say, 100, 120 meters. Then again, multiply it by 2. But the huge advantage is basically that the person who is in a personal distress doesn't have to do anything apart from it. Regarding simplicity of the system, this is, I would say, an overall or a high-level display of the system. Basically, what you can do what you can see on the left side of the slide, you can see, of course, this is the part which belongs to the mobile operator. All we need to do is to extract the radio files which the operator provides for his needs anyhow. That means that there is no special burden on the operator itself for the sake of operating our system. We manipulate by our unique IP, intellectual property based software, and then this is immediately dispatched, as I've said, to all of the first responders. Any questions about this scenario? Because if there aren't any, I would like to go to the second one.
Please move forward, sir, in the interest of time.
Okay, just a minute. Can you see the presentation? Got it. Really, I'm used to working with Zoom, not so much with Google Meets. Google mass casualty or mass disaster events. I cannot ignore the fact that I'm speaking to the US, and of course you have in various areas, you have hurricanes, you have tornadoes, and you have earthquake. Now, when you have a hurricane, usually you would have between 3 to 4 days alert that this is coming. When you have a tornado, you have a general warning about a certain or specific area which is about to be experiencing a hectic weather, but you of course wouldn't know the exact location of the tornado, where the tornado is going to hit. And when there is an earthquake, of course, there is no in advance alert whatsoever. Now imagine that this system is being installed somewhere not related to 911, say that for an assumption that the 911 scenario is not acceptable at the moment, but this is installed somewhere within, I don't know, some ministry or some agency of FEMA, FEMA affiliated, or and no one looks at the system until a calamity or a mass disaster takes place. There, if the mobile network continues to function, you have a real-time location of the casualties and of course the people who are to be saved, and this makes the operational efficiency and effectiveness of first responders, I would say, to increase in a significant manner, because there is a huge difference in having like a large area, whether this is the Chesapeake Bay or the Mexico Gulf or something like that, and you have no clue about the whereabouts. If the mobile network even stops to operate, which is quite a common thing in a case of a mass disaster scenario. Then if, for instance, the earthquake took place at 9 a.m., then you have a cellular snapshot of 9:59. So then again, it is, I would say, less preferable than having a mobile network function, but still it gives you I'm sorry. It gives you a benefit that first responders can be directed to the right places. Regarding the advantages, and this would be my concluding slide, regarding the advantages we have vis-a-vis any other possible or optional contending solutions, you can see that we are totally agnostic to the device. We are robust, and it doesn't require any application to be installed. Of course, we have analytical capabilities. That means that if a specific area is an area of interest, then of course we can geofence it and focus on a specific area. And it doesn't require of the person whether this is a 911, especially if this is a mass disaster area. It doesn't require of the person who needs to be assisted, who needs sometimes to be rescued, not only to be assisted. It doesn't require anything apart from dialing 911 if this is the 911 scenario, or if this is a mass disaster, just being there. I would like, as a final statement, to say that we are installed all over the world, Central Asia, the Far East, some other countries. The scenarios are, I would say, quite diversified. Some of them are related to the two scenarios I've presented, and some of them are more HLS, Homeland Security, and policing in nature. But all in all, we monitor as we speak. This is nighttime in Israel. As we speak, we monitor concurrently and successfully more than 100 million cellular subscribers all over the world. I would be more than happy to answer any question that you might have.
Thank you, sir. This is an interesting presentation. As you mentioned, earthquakes and floods and hurricanes, the different events that we have that quickly encapsulate people. To have this technology that we can quickly find where the devices are, the last known locations, I think very important worldwide. You did say it takes no action from the individual, so there's no way they can opt in or opt out. It's just using that last known location in the event of disaster. So my question would be, privacy is also a very big concern.
Right.
And so who has control of when this is used? Is it only during disaster declaration, or is it up to the incident commander? How is that applied?
Yeah, I understand that you relate to the second scenario, which is the mass disaster scenario. Okay. Now let's try. Look, we have these kind of systems installed in various nations, which have, I would say, a different political culture and privacy regulations. But no one likes the big brother, right? And the big brother is a big fear all over the world. Now, if I try and make a specific adoption of the architecture and the technology itself to the US conditions, I would say that this system should be under the auspices of FEMA. FEMA has local presence within all states, and there should be an assurance that no usage whatsoever is being done with the data being extracted and installed and not recorded. If this is a mass disaster, and say, for instance, I mean, today is Wednesday, and Wednesday was good, no hurricane, no tornado, no flood, whatever, then the data of Wednesday is being wiped out once this is Thursday. Nothing is kept. This is not a situation when it comes to policing or HLS, but this is not the kind of scenario I would like to speak. So I would say that the two main factors to guarantee the full privacy is to have it under FEMA, not to use it, not to record or to keep any records of the data, say have a 24-hour cycle or something like that, and operate the big red button only when I don't know, someone which is authorized probably by the governor or FEMA, if this is a federal emergency situation, is authorizing the usage of the system. I fully understand the concern you have made, and we are fully aware of it.
Thank you very much for the presentation, sir. Excellent. Aisha?
Okay, any more questions, guys?
In the interest of time, sir, actually we have one. For the geolocation, have they been able to provide vertical or Z location to high rises and collapses?
You're speaking about the vertical location or the Z axis, right, of the coordinate system. Tell you the truth, and I'm being very candid because this is the way I do business and control myself in daily life. Usually you would get a better precision or accuracy level when it comes to the X and Y. That means the horizontal ones. That means that if someone is being trapped and he is in story number 30 or number 20 of the skyscraper, we probably will not be able to make the distinction between story 20 and story 30. But tell you the truth, when it comes to 911 scenario, or when it comes to mass disaster, what importance does it make the vertical axis, operationally wise? I think it's an advantage if we could have produced it in a more accurate manner, but it's not a disadvantage not being able to do so very, very accurately.
Thank you, sir, for your time. Aisha?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Izzy. I really appreciate it.
All right, thanks a lot. Thank you for the time allocation, and thank you for having me. I surely hope that there will be a continuation to this very professional engagement, and I wish you all a pleasant and a nice day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
So our next up is Omri Systems, one of my personal favorites, Yigal Ron, the co-founder of Omri, and also one of the original engineering architects of the Iron Dome. Omric vision is to become worldwide leader and standard in the measurement, complexity, and fire risk emergency management while saving human lives and properties. Go ahead, I'll let you take it away.
All right, thank you, Aisha. If you can all hear me. Yes, all right. So hello, everyone. My name is Eyal Ron. I'm the co-founder of Omni Systems. Omni is a software company developing state-of-the-art system for the firefighting services all around the world. Our team includes system engineers, water engineers, and safety engineers. We are all with vast experience in building critical command and control systems in projects like Iron Dome and much more. And command and control is our specialty, and we want to bring that knowledge to the fire and rescue world. Even today, in the so-called information age, firefighting are facing the same question as they did before. What's behind the door? Dangerous material, gas tank? Where's the exit? Where's the electrical panel? Where's the emergency water hose? Do I have enough water flow? Do I need to bring more water or connect to a different hydrant? Are there any recommendations regarding this site and event. Can the narrow road sustain a big truck? Where to safely place team? All the information is out there, but mostly not computerized, no processed. We want to change that. We want to go from information to knowledge to intelligence, and we call that smart firefighting. Our solution includes 4 standalone systems designated for the fire department. The flow system is for managing information on hydrant status, water pressure, and flow test performed in the field. Part of the system is a mobile application designed for water pressure measurer. The site system handles all the information on businesses, building, and their content. All its data is according to the NFPA regulation. The Sentinel is a GIS-based system showing hotspots. These are areas that the system identifies as at risk. The system, during a routine, receives information from all other systems and analyzes it. It is the only system in the world that detects and displays alerts to sites that are at risk, even before fire breaks. The Sentinel can also connect to existing legacy systems, analyze them, and show their data on the map. This makes implementation of the system very fast, very simple, and secure. The ARC, which stands for Alert and Recommendation Center, is a state-of-the-art command and control system for fire authorities. In an emergency, the system displays only relevant information and could manage several events at the same time. It is the only system in the world that gives real-time recommendation, prioritized, and manage events. Together, these 4 systems create a synergy that amplifies their power and create an holistic solution. There is a saying, the best way to deal with fire is to prevent it. Well, the second best thing is to identify the risk before the fire breaks. The system does risk analysis and recognizes sites at risk. In an ever-changing city, the Sentinel keeps an open eye on everything all the time. New businesses are opening, other closes, and some sites change their purpose. A warehouse becomes a restaurant, for example. You can see those risks as a hotspot on the map. The Sentinel not only recognizes a single site at risk, but analyzes its impact on close-by sites and its surrounding area. This could be done at street level, city level, and country level. The system is showing the risk data, including the measurement graph according to NFPA 13 regulation, and does much more, using nearby resources, water reservoir, pumps, fire extinguisher, and more. This is by integration with the site system. Risk management of nearby sites and prioritization of multiple events. Upon real event, the ARC system uploads and displays the chart from the site system, showing the firefighters and orientation map and where all the important stuff is located, the electrical panel, hydrant, escape door, and much more. The system also displays a directional map to the site. This is very similar to Waze. The system is connected to an online meteorologist data, giving the firefighting real-time recommendation of where to position the forces according to wind direction. It's also display car management and which car is designated to these specific events. The risk management is preset by the system administrator. He set up a list of parameters given each of them weight and level. Some parameters could have 5 levels, some could be Boolean values. Now, at real event, those parameters are calculated by the system per event, and the ARC produces a risk level to that specific event. That event risk level has prioritized multiple events. The system can also give real-time action recommendation, recommended hydrant, how to connect, how to handle hazardous material, how to create a fire buffer. All the recommendations are preset by the system administrator and can be changed at any time. Now, the system can learn from previous events and improve the recommendation at a global scale. For example, a fire in a battery factory in Sydney can give insight of how to handle a fire in a magnesium warehouse in San Francisco. So sharing international knowledge will help in dealing with dangerous material in other countries. Now, the system does not need any hardware nor installation. Our perception is that this system should be available 24/7 on any platform. Customers with their own system can also use the Ormix Sentinel, which can connect to legacy system. The Sentinel will receive information from the organization existing system and provide a complete view of the system. In a case like that, implementing the system is fast and simple, as the Sentinel is a SaaS service and need no installation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. That was an interesting presentation. We certainly do want to be a little more proactive in our actions and focus on community risk reduction. And I think your system demonstrates a very unique way of doing that, and using the data aggregation international is a great concept. I see no questions at this time, but I'm going to ask to move to the next presenter. Again, Tech Council members or those audiences that maybe watched this pre-recorded recording, if you want to reach out to the Tech Council and get in contact with any of these companies, we'd be happy to facilitate that for you. Aisha?
Absolutely. So who should have been first, but now is last, we will bring it to CopterPIX PRO. Igal, if you would like to go ahead and take it away.
Do you hear me right now?
Yes.
Oh, finally. So I'm very sorry for the technical issues we have. I'm now just going to upload the presentation. One second. There we go. Okay, do you see it? The flying fish? Hello? Okay, good. So sorry for the technical issues. My name is Igor Yarmolinsky. I'm the VP of Sales at CopterPIX. Copter specializes in developing and manufacturing beyond visual line of sight autonomous applications based on drones up to 55 pounds of total takeoff. Our solutions are based on our own CPX open source framework, hardware and software, full end-to-end solution that enables us to fly at least 30% more than any other commercial drone worldwide. This was tested actually by the Israeli IDF, the Israeli Army. More time in air, heavier payloads, and longer distance covered. In mid-2021, we won the biggest tender for the Israeli Army, a $20 million tender for the next generation drone of the Army. It's now finished development, and it includes also our other drones, which I'll present in a few seconds. And right now, we're getting some orders from the Ministry of Defense and the Army for these drones that we developed for them and our other drones. We also sell to all the major defense companies like Elbit AI and Rafael. They are our partners in some tenders. They take our drones as the platform, and then they move their payloads airborne. We also work with other, as you see around here, the Electricity Company of Israel, Port of Ashdod, this is the biggest seaport, and so on. We have developed, among other things, with the investment of about $6 million by the Innovations Authority of Israel, the smallest drone in the world, not in the world, but the smallest core of the drone, a 24 grams core. This is what you see here. It has full redundancy, multiple cameras, a few data links. Above that, we added a layer of Linux computer. This is actually a Raspberry Pi computer and a Qualcomm chip to enable 4G or 5G communication, and developed a very, very small camera, dual day and night, thermal night, with this FLIR sensor, and dual 8 times day camera, which in all of that makes a 42 grams full functioning drone. Now, I don't have, by some reason, my camera here, but it doesn't matter. If you have a bottle of water in front of you or a cup or whatever, by this system, what you see all here, only 42 grams, we can make any device a flying device, which means that we take all of this, add 4 motors and props, small battery, and then we can make the device fly. We have projects like that here in Israel, of course, with the military, but also in a commercial side. Our system, as I said, is fully open, so we can integrate actually any third-party application. It can be a communication system software. It can be a hardware like cameras or other devices, payloads, whatever is needed. Right now, we have a connection and implemented about 250 different manufacturers of different solutions, again, hardware or software. Our drones are fully customized per customer's needs. So we have non-GPS navigation, anti-GPS jammers on the drone, LiDAR system, AI capabilities. All of these cameras that you see here are by another Israeli company. They are best of breed as far as we could test. We also have a DR mechanism, which is dead reckoning, which means that if we lose navigation, GPS, and if we have jammers, and if we don't have any cellular coverage or Wi-Fi or RF at the area, we will still, I'm sorry, we will still not lose the drone, but the drone is actually on the way to the target. See and identify some points at the way. So if it's jammed, nothing is working, it just turns back home and just jumps from one point to the other and comes back home. So we all not only save the drone, but they save the cargo, the payload, that in many cases is much, much heavier. Our drones are basically 3 different solutions. The mini drones, which are 4 quad drones, 4 motors, can be up to 100 minutes in air and carry up to 5 or even 6 kilos of payload. The maximum takeoff is 14 kilos. We have a solution of electrical drones, which can take up to 12 kilos of payload. And we have a solution of a hybrid drone, which is powered by small batteries, but mainly by gasoline, can be up to 7.5 hours in air. Yes, 7.5 hours. The distance it can cover is up to 130 miles. This is for inspection of pipelines, for example, or electrical lines, etc. We have a solution also for much heavier drones, and we are going to develop this year, again, with a grant that we already secured by the Innovations Authority of Israel, a drone that will be able to carry 25 kilos and will be scalable up to 100 kilos to carry. This is a small comparison between our hybrid and other solutions that are in the market. The basic thing is that our solution is cheaper, and the regulation is much easier than, as you see here, the UAVs or the helicopters, and the maintenance is very, very low. Training is, of course, very, very fast. We had a project in the country of Mozambique in Africa, where we trained the guard of the president operating our drones. Those guys all look like LeBron James, and and they didn't know anything about working with drones. In 5 days only, they flew our drones like they were born with it, day and night, without any issues. The heavy lifters, as I said, we are going to have a new development of a parallel hybrid drone, which means that it will work like a electrical car, which works sometimes on electricity only, sometimes on gasoline, and sometimes on both. This is the same principle, and this enables us to get much heavier payloads, as I said, up to 100 kilos. That's about 250 pounds in air in a matter of the next year or so. Another solution we have besides the drones, hybrid, Hexa or quad drones, is the drone in the box, the smallest drone in the box solution in the worldwide. The drone itself that you see here weighs approximately 300 grams. That's about 0.7 pounds. And the station, the docking station, weighs 50 pounds. It's very small, like a laser printer. And what is going here is that the drone is automatically going on routes after first installation, lands in this system. When it's closed, it's charging automatically and goes to the rounds again. Of course, the rounds doesn't have to be around the perimeter. It can be inside the perimeter, outside the perimeter. It also is talking to smart fences and enables us to actually lower the costs of guards on site. If you take, for example, a big warehouse, we need usually on per shift about 8 people, 2 sitting at the front gate, 2 at the back office watching the TVs, 2 are always patrolling, and 2 are resting. When we have this drone, it doesn't eat, it doesn't sleep, it doesn't watch TV, it just flies and does its job. And when there is an alert, it actually jumps much, much faster than anybody. This drone can fly up to 45 miles per hour. And to a distance of 1 mile, it takes about 1 minute. So it's much faster than any car or any person by foot. And as we checked at where those systems are already installed, about 80% of the alerts are actually false alerts. So we don't have to move our guys to that fence or to that alert, because it's in most cases, it's an animal that just brushed against the fence and is going away. It's not somebody that is trying to break in, or if it's a prison, trying to break out. We also won the Innovations Award at Millipol 2019, just before the Corona. So the Corona stopped us for 2 years, but now we're moving ahead with this solution. You can see here on the right, our software engineer, Carmela, she lifted this system without any problems. And the other solutions that are on the market here, some of the companies are Israeli companies, some are French, etc. Of course, our solution is much lighter, and it's mobile. And the thing about mobile is that we are working with 12 volts. So basically, we can power it with a car battery, or a very, very small 40-watt solar panel is more than enough to power it 24/7. States like Texas or Florida that have, like Israel, 360 days of sun. This is more than enough of a solution. The big drones can be in, as you can see the list here, I'm not going to get over it, but water pipelines, inspection, manual and electricity transformer station inspection, etc., etc. We have a lot of solutions like that. And again, I apologize for the beginning. Thank you very, very much for listening to me. If you have any questions, please do.
We do have a question in chat, and that is, are any public safety agencies using or testing in the United States?
No, we're just trying to enter the States. Actually, I've came back from a SOFIC in Tampa 2 days ago, came back. This is, we're just starting to sell in the States. We're actually right now selling only in Israel and some countries in Europe.
I want to thank all the presenters today and the Tech Council members that have joined us. Aisha, I wonder if you could call on the presenters one more time in order and ask them in 1 minute to get the contact information for their company, their website, and just a very quick brief overview of their products so everybody can remember.
Yes, absolutely. So I will go ahead from the order. So at first we had EdgyBees. EdgyBees is Moshe Haskin. He's the co-founder and CEO. that is for the 3D video generation solution. Next, we have Octopus Systems. Octopus Systems was with Danny. He's the VP of International Sales and Marketing. That was a command and control platform. The next one we have Waveguard.
Let me ask Danny real quick. What's your website, Danny?
Yeah, our website is octopus-app. That's app, octopus-app.com. And you can see there also contact sales and marketing. And I also sent Aisha the presentation and my contact details. So if she wants to share it with you and all the audience, that would be great. And I can also talk afterwards with anyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Danny. And Aisha, the first company, their website, if possible, if we could ask them.
Yeah, absolutely. Maisha, are you still with us?
Yes, I am. I had problem going out of mute. Our website is at EdgyBees.com. And yeah, you can find all the contact information there.
Thank you. And then we have Waveguard Solutions. Uzi, can you go ahead and share your contact information? I'll go ahead and put it up with their website as well. And next but not, I see Eyal has already shared his website and contact information in the chat. So CopterPIX, Eyal, can you, and you shared in the chat as well.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Yes, thank you all.
Aisha, while we're waiting too, I'd just like to remind all the presenters that we provided information to Aisha about the upcoming Technology Summit International, which will be held in Irving, Texas in October of this year. It's going to be a 3-day technology conference, and we would love for y'all to attend. Aisha has the information, or you can just Google search Technology Summit International, IAFC, October of this coming year.
It's going to be a great event. We've had a lot of great speakers that are already lined up, and the companies that we're attracting to present, they're all top notch. This is going to be a well-attended IFC event. It's our first Technology Summit International. We're so excited. October 18th through the 20th. Jeff, thank you so much for your efforts in facilitating that for our Tech Council. Aisha, did we get through all the presenters?
Yes, we did. So we went through all the presenters. I went ahead and put Waveguard Solutions Tech's contact information in the chat box.
Well, again, Tech Council members, presenters, Aisha, what an honor to have you all here and to be able to review this innovation. A lot of it was super new and interesting to us. I'm sure there's going to be lots of people reaching out. I want to thank you for your time. Chief Doolin, the IFC, I want to thank you for allowing us to be a council and to be able to do this for our membership. And with that, we'll go ahead and close out this meeting.